Our 12th stop is Minnesota, the land of 10,000 lakes, where no matter the time of year, you're never too far from a place for swimming or skating. From the Twin Cities to the Superior National Forest, join us as we adventure into Minnesota and their tales less traveled.
We have a dog. We scouted a dog. Followed us.
Started?
Oh. Well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At any point we just jump in, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're in Minnesota.
Minnesota. We are 1/4 of the way done with our journey.
That fast?
Yep. With Minnesota, this will be a fourth of the way through all the states.
Wow.
Doesn't seem like a lot.
No, but we have been doing this for
Since like
Couple months,
September, right? Or
Since October.
Wow.
It's a few months.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
so yeah.
6
Oh my
months.
god, you imagine our 1 year anniversary?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean,
Actually, won't we be somewhere around our 1 year anniversary?
we might.
Yeah, we might.
We might.
We might, yeah.
We might be.
yeah.
Might be hitting up Halloween Horror Nights.
We might be drinking around the world. Quite literally.
Yeah.
Now that things are opening up and people are getting vaccinated.
Waxed and waxed, baby.
Yes, please. Please.
Well, how did you guys get here? Because Josh, we've been here for a week and you just now got here, so
Yeah.
you probably took like the longest route to
You
Minnesota.
kind of did. I mean, we have a new, we have a...
Companion for the week.
Yeah,
You replaced me so easily.
we picked up a little doggy.
Yeah, her name's
took-
Gimli.
I took a cruise.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Did pass through Hawaii?
I went to Hawaii.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
It was a good time. And you know, I went on a tour, a city tour of Honolulu.
Oh wow, you forgot to tell us.
Yeah,
We were here waiting for you.
And the tour guide told us to be careful. And he told us all about the night marchers. And I was like, you know what? Cover
That's cool.
this. Yeah. Said watch
Did
out.
you tell him that you're a famous podcaster?
I didn't actually. He was actually from Germany. And he's living in Hawaii.
Did you know that we're humble about our fame?
Yeah, I'm not...
I know.
Actually, I think it's the douchiest thing when you're starting a conversation. Like, so I actually have a podcast.
And I covered this. Thank you, though. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like, whatever. Like, if it comes up naturally, but I'm not gonna, like, hey, so I have a podcast. So in my podcast.
I didn't want to tell y'all, but I printed out business cards and I've been putting them underneath everyone's windshield whenever I go to Kroger. Like, hey, check us out. And I leave a little QR code.
You're the person
Why
that
our
you
ratings
avoid in parking lots.
That's why our ratings have tanked on
Yeah,
Apple
ever like
Podcasts.
walked out of wherever you're going, grocery store, restaurant, or something, and you actually see the person tucking the thing at your windshield?
Yeah, and the thing is, like, in college, you have to be careful with those because that's how they lure people in. Because, you know, you go to your car and say that there's a piece of paper under your windshield wipers. Normally, you know, you would pick it and, like, stand out there and, like, what is this or whatever, but that's the perfect time for any people that coming snatch you. That's how they get you. So, that happened to me.
You got snatched.
No. I called at the parking lot at my old college campus, sniff. There was like a piece of paper under the windshield wiper, and I was like, nope, I'm getting straight into the car.
You know, when we went to TCU, I had parked my car.
Can you,
when I was
privacy reasons, you know what I mean?
I'm saying when I went to TCU, I don't go there anymore. I've kind of graduated 4 years ago.
God, it's been that long.
Yeah. But when I was attending TCU and I parked my car, and after class I'd go back to my car, and I'd always have coupons for Tiger Cabaret.
I was gonna say the strip clubs.
Yeah, under my windshield wiper.
What?
And I never used them, but
Yeah.
I was like, who's like going to a campus and
Josh would send me texts and be like, "You doing anything Friday night?" Send me a picture of the
you want
coupons.
to go to
Tiger
you want to
Cabaret.
get our stripes?
Yeah, all the way in Dallas. You know
so
what,
they
though?
call it, get your stripes.
I don't know.
On the billboard in Dallas, the one that's just for Tiger Cabaret, I don't know if it's the same girl, but that girl looks 12 years old.
I think she's
with-
been on it for a long time.
Yeah, there's a girl on the billboard, and she looks like she could be 12 years old with just pounds of makeup on her, and I'm like, this is weird, y'all. But well,
Hopefully she wasn't 12.
let's hope.
Wow. But yeah, so I'm glad that you had a great time in Hawaii. We camped it out. Got a new dog for the week. It's been pretty low key out here in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Beautiful though.
It is. That's how.
My first
Where-
time in Minnesota.
How the Minnesota
Yeah.
is.
The where Jennifer's body took place.
Wonderful.
There's a theory that whole movie's based on reality because Megan Fox is an age.
It's true.
How do y'all feel about her and
MGK?
and Kelly?
Yeah.
I think it's PR, to be honest. I don't know.
I feel like she's going back. Well, I don't know if she ever left her crazy days, but it reminds me of like Angelina Jolie when she was first starting out.
When she kissed her brother.
She was kind of in her chaotic days.
Wait, Jolie kissed her brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a French
In a
kiss
pool.
on the
Yeah.
red carpet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it was on the
Yeah.
red
I'm
carpet.
sorry, but if you ever told me, hey, let's kiss each other,
No.
I'd be like,
Give me a little bit of that tongue. You'd be like, oh,
I'd be like,
hee
boo,
hee.
we don't need the
No, ma'am.
ratings.
What
Not that badly.
Yeah, well-
no ma'am.
was that ever explained, or was they just kind of brushed under the rug, move on?
She did talk about it in an interview. I can't remember what she said, but I think she pretty much like played it down, like, you know, because her father's what's his name?
He's famous.
Yeah, Billy
Jolie? I don't know.
Billy something.
Ray
Billy Ray
Cyrus.
Cyrus.
Billy Joel?
Yeah, Billy. No.
Billy Joel Jolie?
Billie
Hold on.
Jean?
Who's got Siri
Ray
Not my
around?
lover? Hold
Hold
on. Hey Siri, who's Angelina Jolie's father?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
I got
just
it, I
say
got
it,
it.
just
Hey
say
Hey Siri.
You don't have to hold the
Can't
button.
wait
Who is
to-
I'm not like you.
Angelina Jolie's father?
Can't wait for people to be like, oh, I wonder which one of them is breathing
Your
heavily.
Siri's picking you up.
It's
John
not-
Voight is Angelina
John
Jolie's
Voight.
father.
Oh, John Voight. Oh, you know what? She
She-
was
she-
dating a guy named Billy something.
Billy
Yeah, the
Joel.
dude that did Bad Santa.
I didn't see that.
Oh yeah,
Billy, heck is his name?
Which, funny enough, John Voight was on
Billy Crystal.
Britney Spears' tour in Vegas.
You know who I just... So you know in Lana Del Rey's Shade of
Okay,
Cool video, she has that older guy who's like not bad looking for a guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Apparently he's a tattoo artist. Let me show you. What's his
If
name?
it's the one that I'm thinking of.
It's this guy. Mark Mahoney.
Oh, yeah,
That
that guy. Yep.
Can't bad for a...
okay. Drink your drink. Drink your
Look at
lemonade.
that.
The more she drinks, the younger he gets.
So, how do you guys like these Minnesota bootlegs?
Good. Like a grown-up adult lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice.
Not
You know, mint's okay for me, but this is like a right amount.
You know
and
which
it's like
mojito was
pureed,
good?
so
The one in
The one in
Glory-
Disney Springs.
Yeah. That they shut down.
Yeah, I don't know why they shut it down.
That was the best mojito. And I don't like mojitos typically because they usually taste too minty for my.
Oh, this is very good. Very refreshing.
yeah, I dig it.
Well, cheers to you finding us, Josh. I'm glad you
I'm glad
made it back.
you made it here safe.
Yeah, me too. You are just
Now she's never gonna leave you alone.
Yeah, you gotta let her be.
Yep. Now she. Yep.
Oh,
there she
yeah.
comes.
She
all
wants
right.
the scratch.
Okay, well we're gonna move on.
Okay.
So,
So interesting enough. So you've all seen Jennifer's Body, right?
yeah.
So I thought it would be just okay. This
Is it based on Minnesota folklore?
Well,
On
it
the
does.
Minnesota
The Devil's Kettle,
Vikings.
which is where Jennifer in the movie got murdered.
Uh huh.
Remember, like when they
In the beginning?
the band like sacrificed her. Mm-hmm. She was sacrificed at Devil's Kettle Falls, which is in Minnesota, and it was a big mystery for the longest time because there's a waterfall that just goes into the rocks and then just disappears. It doesn't go into a stream or anywhere, and they could not figure out where the water was going. And they put down like ping pong balls and colored dyes to see where it would show up.
Okay.
Because they thought it was going like to the nearby lake, and it wasn't, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. And I think they like the past couple of years found out like it was a big superstitious thing, like oh the water just disappears. And I think they found out that it actually just goes to like an underground
Cavern?
river, and then it comes back up in the middle of like the lake or river.
Huh.
So it's like you can't even just interesting. Not supernatural, but it is a little interesting tidbit.
That is an interesting tidbit. Is Jennifer Body the one where she
Kisses Amanda Seyfried? Yes.
she just stays young for like forever?
She like
No, she's
eats,
she gets turned to a
She has
succubus.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah.
and
You're
eats
good. You're good.
men.
She eats men to stay young.
I guess that did happen too.
Yeah, and I love that they're just like, oh, we need to have her friend be the because in Jennifer's Body, it's like, oh, she's the hot cheerleader in high school, and we want to have her best friend be like the nerdy like one that no one looks at. And they got Amanda Seyfried,
Poor
like, like, come on, guys, like, you're
Could have
not
gone someone a little bit that would have fit
like
the description.
you got Amanda Seyfried, not I don't know, I can't think of an attractive.
She's
celebrity.
nerdy in her own right.
Well, I'm sure, but.
Yeah.
They like
They
all,
could've
they
done
gave her
worse.
like they put her hair in like a ponytail and gave her glasses, and I'm like, oh yeah, now she's not attractive.
Yeah.
now she looks very nerdy, and it's fine. It was not a bad movie
Yeah.
actually. It just got marketed weirdly.
Did it really?
Yeah, it got they just tried to sell it off of
The sex appeal.
Megan Fox's sex appeal, but it's actually a good movie, and it has like an interesting message about childhood friendships breaking apart.
Oh wow.
That's what the
Wow,
whole
you-
movie is based off of. Was like
I did not get
people staying friends out of convenience, even though their relationship gets toxic. But they're like, oh, this person's always been here.
Wow, you made Jennifer's Body seem more.
I actually watched a video on it. So.
Like an English literature
Yeah.
analysis.
Because I was gonna say I found it okay.
Well, we can get into it another time. But
Is
yeah,
that like the
They,
Q&A
like-
with the director, or this is someone's like analyzing
this
it?
is the writer director. They had like very little say with the marketing team, and the marketing team was just a bunch of men that were just like, she'll steal your boyfriend and his soul, or something like that.
Yeah, but
It's
like they intended it for it to be like the best friend thing where you drift apart, or like that.
yeah,
was
because that's what their
intention?
whole story is.
Oh my God.
Megan or Jennifer and what's her name? Amanda Seyfried's character.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
No, I get what you're saying. I just,
Yeah.
that's an odd way
because
to
they're
portray it.
like it shows. There's a bunch of flashbacks with their friends and their kids, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, I've always been there for Jennifer." I'm like, well, has Jennifer been there for you? Well,
I do. You know what? I
Wow.
think I kind of vaguely remember
and then
that.
there's also like some implications that she's like has a crush on Jennifer. She's trying to figure stuff out, and then in the end, she's like, "Oh, okay, well,
Wow.
we're
So
Wow,
I'm better without her."
Yeah.
She was like, she was evil before she turned into a succubus.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. That's super interesting.
Yeah, because the whole thing is like Jennifer was mean to her before, and then after she turns into a succubus, she's like, "Oh, she's acting this way because she's a succubus." And she's like, "Well, I think she was always treating you this way." And she's like, "Oh, maybe you're right."
Wow.
In this essay, I will write about.
And that's the
It's
episode
just,
on
I
Jennifer's
just feel
Body.
like it's a movie that got praise for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
That's
It's
I
not a
only
bad
remember it for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to the marketing team.
Yeah.
Because there's really not a whole lot of like nudity or anything explicit. I don't think there's any nudity in that movie.
No, I think it was just the kiss that was just overly.
And which is like which was heavily marketed, and it was like 10 seconds of the movie.
Yeah, because at the time you really didn't see that in major movies, anyways.
Yeah,
Not like same-sex kissing and all that.
yeah.
I wish I could quit you.
Anyway, I think
Anyways.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, we can move
Wow,
on from
great.
Jennifer's
That was a
Body.
lot.
Okay.
So, in case you didn't want to know, now you know.
That's on our Theater
Yeah.
101 podcast.
Hey, bro, we were talking about horror movies in the last episode. So,
There you go.
yeah, I'm sorry to break off on that tangent. I just get passionate about stuff like this.
It was fascinating, though.
Active shooter at North Park.
Okay, stop.
You mean
Stop. We're in
North
Minnesota.
Park of Minnesota.
the park that's north of Minnesota?
No way.
Do we need to pause?
Hearing bullets in the distance.
Hey, when I was in San Jose Airport and we landed in Hawaii, we found out there was a mass shooting in San Jose.
It's fascinating.
17 dead.
It is.
At the transportation
While
center.
you were there,
What's
Same
going
day.
on with people?
It's okay because now it's much easier to get a gun in Texas, so everything will even out.
That's
don't get
true.
me started.
That's true.
But we're in Minnesota, so let's not talk about Texas.
Enjoying some nice club soda. Right?
So
Bootleg, Minnesota
Are we
bootleg.
on our first one?
Yeah, we're gonna go to our
All
first
right.
story. It's records only 16 minutes into this episode.
Let's not push it.
Okay, so this is the Val Johnson Incident. I'm looking at Brooke because it's a UFO.
Oh, well.
One of
I'll
their...
let you know if I know about it when I hear about it.
You should have known about it by now. Oh, Johnson.
So we're going to start right in the city of Stephen in Marshall County.
That's my favorite county, city.
In the early morning of August 27th, 1979, Deputy Sheriff Val Johnson was on patrol. While making his typical rounds, he was startled when he saw a beam of light shoot down on the road, forming a ball of light. Sorry, the
Indigestion?
the bootleg's giving me a little... I think it's all that lemonade and
Lemonade.
just the citricness. Okay, so yeah, this beam of light shoots down. It's a ball, and floating 3 feet above the ground.
Okay.
And as he's driving towards it, it shoots towards him. It completely engulfed the car and him. Everything went white. He heard glass breaking, and he woke up after he woke up, 39 minutes had passed. And the deputies responding to his call noticed that the clock in the car and Johnson's wristwatch were 14 minutes slower than their official time. The car's windshield had been shattered, and the car was on the side in the middle of the road.
Oh, Jesus.
Johnson was covered in bruises and had an eye irritation, which a doctor compared to welder's burns, which is a condition where the eye is exposed to too much ultraviolet light, like a sunburn on your eye.
Yeah.
Which is strange, to say the least, since it was the middle of the night. Aside from the windshield being broken, the lights on the roof of the car were broken. They were still intact, but they were just not functional. And his radio antenna was bent sideways at like a 90-degree angle.
Man.
After a police investigation, they could not explain how his car tipped or what it could have hit. The car now sits in the Marshall County Museum with a plaque calling it the UFO car. Johnson was a guest on Good Morning America 2 weeks after the accident, but he did not enjoy the national attention brought to him and his family. After his television appearance and a few newspaper interviews, Johnson moved away and refused to go any further about what happened that night, even refusing a polygraph test, a choice that many skeptics used as proof that Johnson destroyed his own car for publicity. While Johnson does not try to continue his own narrative, he is very patient with people that have stopped to talk about the incident, and he said... people would come to his door, and he'd invite them to the backyard, and he'd say, we'd sit in the backyard with lemonade and talk. They'd tell me what they thought happened to me, and I'd nod at appropriate times. Eventually, they'd go away.
That's all he wanted.
He's not a man who wants to figure out what happened. He'd rather move on with his life. He doesn't think it was an alien, but he doesn't know what it was. He said, I saw a ball of light. I drove toward it, and suddenly it was in the car with me. It's unexplainable. And will remain so. I'm happy with my mental stability.
Huh.
He doesn't want to...
He just completely wants to shut down.
So here's the car. You can look this up in the museum. You can see the antenna is bent in like the wrong direction.
Yeah.
The windshield just has like a dinner plate sized hole. The lights are broken. Here's the windshield. Yeah, it is...
And it was on its side?
Yeah, it was on it. Yeah, it's flipped over.
See how...
You think they would be more damaged?
Yeah, he must have hit one of those Minnesota cows or something.
Minnesota Vikings. The Moomos?
Minnesota Firefly.
People like that, it's so interesting because they can get into the whole Me Too thing. It's like some women, the way that they go about it is it happened, it's done, they don't want to talk about it, they don't want to press charges, they don't want to do anything further because they want the attention to go away. And then it's the same case with this. It's like it can be so heavily publicized, and then they try to portray you in a wrong light. So why would you even want to speak out?
Yeah.
It's probably... He just seems like a polite guy.
Yeah.
Like, this happened, and he's like an honest, polite guy. He's just like, this is what I saw, this is what happened. The police did an investigation, and then word came out, and he started getting people to call him, and he's like, okay, yeah, I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah.
And then after he saw, like, where people were going with it, he's like, okay, I don't... Like, stop coming to my house, stop calling my family. And he ended up moving out of the state. I forget where he moved to, but people still would show up at his house. And every time he'd just be like, yeah, let's go talk in the backyard. But he wouldn't, like, indulge them. He'd just kind of nod and be like, yeah, that's an interesting thought. Maybe that did happen. All right, bye.
Right.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's just for him to shut him up. So he's like, oh, you had your piece. You said what you thought happened, but that's evidently what I don't think happened. So he just left.
Yeah.
So... What's his name again? Val. What's his last name?
Val Johnson.
Val Johnson. If you want to come on and tell your story, we'd be humbly accepting.
It's like the
We would
red
not
table.
question and make assumptions, sir. We just are happy for you to share your tale.
Yeah.
What's that red table talk with what's her name? Willow Smith's mom and grandma?
Jaden.
Yeah.
Smith.
That would be ours.
Yeah.
Come
Just
to
come
us on
talk
our
about
couch.
it. We're interested. It's pretty dang crazy.
Is he still alive?
I think so. I mean, this was in 1979? So let's say he's like in his, even if he's in his 30s in 1979, he'd be like 70 now.
No. Oh, Val. What a name. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our UFO, possible UFO.
That's pretty nuts.
Yeah, it could have been a will-o'-the-wisp.
For it to burn his eyes, though. Jesus.
Yeah, like that. This would have been bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
Move on to our monsters.
Ooh.
Yes. Kind of monsters.
A sea serpent?
Urchin.
Well, from Stephen, we're going to drive 5 hours southeast to Duluth, a city on the edge of Lake Superior.
Can we talk about Duluth products, though? Because
I knew you were
their
gonna
commercials.
bring this up.
Their commercials are.
Yeah.
They're pretty funny.
What's
They're pretty
Duluth?
funny.
Yeah, what's Duluth?
It's like the Duluth Trading Company or
Yeah,
something.
they're
They
like a working man's clothing.
it always
line.
has the animated cartoons of
Yeah.
the guy with like
Oh, yeah.
wearing like concrete
you don't get to see
hands.
his crack and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never
Yeah.
seen them.
So I don't actually know, like, is Duluth Trading Company from Duluth?
Oh, I have no idea. But the name is
Minnesota?
cool.
Yeah.
Duluth.
So yeah, it's on the edge of Lake Superior. Just north of this city is an Air Force base where the first sighting of this creature took place. In 1999, a man who wishes to remain anonymous was working the graveyard shift
It's probably Val again.
from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The man was driving in a patrol truck around the side of the base near a forest when he noticed the reflective eyes of an animal standing at eye level with him. Let it be known this guy's sitting in an F-150, and this thing is at eye level with him.
Oh, so it's pretty tall.
Shortly after making eye contact with the creature, it ran away. He sped after it and was able to see the backside of the creature. He said it was wolf-like, and it bounded through the air. It had huge black paws and a tail about 2 feet long and matted light brown hair. It ran into the dense woods, and the way it crashed through the forest was like a moose. And then people would start referring to this creature as the Minnesota Dogman.
Oh my god, these furries. Guys, if you're a
Minnesota
furry,
Vikings.
wear proud. You don't gotta do it in the middle of the night when someone
You don't
thinks
have to
it's
destroy a
natural.
forest.
Exactly. Be a furry and be proud. It's alright.
It's kind of crazy. We did see a moose in Colorado, right?
did.
That's
Yeah.
what that was?
Yeah, walk
It
right
just,
into the road.
It just
Yeah.
didn't have its
No,
full
they
antlers
They
yet.
drop them during certain times of the year. It could have been male or female.
Those things are huge.
Yeah, no, it gave no shits. It just like walked.
Walked in the middle of the street.
Yep.
Said hello,
Yep.
goodbye.
Yeah, have you seen like a fully grown moose?
Oh, they'll kill you. They're,
Yeah.
Not in
they're
person, but
freaking
just
Knock over
videos.
trees.
gigantic. Yep.
No, they don't care.
That's a common theme on our podcast. You know that?
What?
Giant animals.
Yeah.
We had the giant albino moose.
Yeah.
Ghost moose.
Oh yeah, the specter moose.
Yeah.
Yep.
The albino moose.
Yeah. But this is a dog man. The next sighting
Respectfully.
the next sighting of the dog man would be 10 years later, 200 miles west in Fergus Falls. This man was driving on a country road in the middle of the night when he stopped his car for 3 deer that were standing in the middle of the road. As he was watching them, waiting for them to move out of the way, he noticed something in the tree line. A large bipedal animal was standing leaning around a tree watching the deer. It stood about 7 feet tall. The creature had a long protruding snout, pointed ears, a very thin waist, and thick, muscular thighs.
Oh,
He also said that from the hand the creature was placing on the tree, he could see that it had opposable thumbs.
Okay.
damn
So
it,
I
guys.
guess he's like-
Get out of your furry costumes
what?
He's
at
like
night.
on the tree, like leaning against
Yeah.
the
Speaking of thumbs, Megan Fox has ugly thumbs.
Yeah, she
But
does.
we weren't talking about Jennifer's body anymore.
But this is Megan Fox.
She does
Y'all
have.
seen her thumbs?
Yeah,
Sorry, Megan.
stubby.
Well, it's like a condition, though. I looked it up. Like, she was born with it.
Maybe she's born with
Alex,
it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
You're acting like those thumbs are a deal breaker.
You know what, though?
You kind of are.
They are.
Imagine that. Imagine she like takes your bottom lip with it, and you're just
Doesn't
like,
someone else have like kind of stubby or short thumbs like
I mean,
that?
it's a genetic thing.
No, it's like a condition.
It's not a condition, it's a genetic thing.
No, it is. No, it's like a... I think she's...
There's nothing wrong with her, it's just a genetic...
She's been thinking about Megan
You
Fox
like-
this whole time.
It's just a genetic thing.
I don't know.
Oh, I don't remember them looking like that.
maybe
I thought it was
Maybe
more
she
like
had work
Stubby
done.
thumbs.
No, they look like toes.
Well, some people have surgeries when they don't have a thumb to make their big toe their thumb.
Really?
Yeah.
And some people don't have
yeah.
thumbs at all, so...
Yeah, and some people don't
And
have
some
thumbs at
people
all.
have a sixth thumb, okay? Sexy thumbs, guys.
It just reminds me earlier, Josh was... we were talking about some video game character that only has 3 fingers, and he's like, Alex, she only has 3 fingers. And I was like,
That's all you need.
that's all you need, I guess, at the end of the day, is 3 fingers.
Gross, God.
Brooke, you were in the room.
I know, but
You don't want to hold
clearly
hands.
I wasn't paying attention.
We're talking
How are you
about-
going to hold hands like
We're
that?
talking about Tolly from Mass
3.
Effect.
Clearly I wasn't
Also,
paying attention.
her fingers are the size of 2 of yours. So
It's
she's
like,
like this.
Did y'all ever see American Horror Story, the freak show one, where it's Lobster Claw Boy?
Imagine
And he's
holding
like,
hands with that, though.
Yeah, that's nasty. I hate
Like,
some American Horror Story seasons have been horrendous.
but it's true, that's an actual thing.
like, hold my
Flippers.
hand.
It's like how Boo held your hand with 1 finger.
When the 4 of us were holding hands in public, I only gave Brooke 2 of my fingers because I was like,
She didn't want to look Polly.
we look so
We actually travel everywhere holding hands, so it's weird that you say
It's so
that.
we don't get lost, but people think it's Polly.
That's gonna be on our merch. We're gonna have T-shirts that's gonna have all of us holding hands.
That's, I
It's
mean,
gonna look like a cult.
did you notice that in the picture for the podcast we're all holding hands?
My God, those
We gotta talk to
Easter
my
eggs.
artists.
Spoiler work.
I don't think it shows below our
It doesn't.
I mean, but leave it up to your imagination. We're all holding hands
It's like
outside that picture.
Hands Across America for,
Oh, yeah.
what was the sequel for Get Out?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh,
Oh, us? No.
Us, yeah.
Yeah.
every time I see our cover art, I just think about how great of a back you have.
Okay, but don't I look good though
Wow.
too?
You're really insulting me.
No. Guys,
I'm just messing with you.
let's go back to talking about furries.
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy that's just leaning on a tree.
He's like, it's got those nice thick thighs.
Anyway.
THICCQUE. Thick.
So the deer noticed something was off and took off running. The man looked back at the creature, and the creature had turned its head to look directly at him.
Oh, shit.
He panicked, slammed his foot on the gas, and got out of there. And about 80 miles southeast of Fergus Falls, we have the last sighting of the creature. While this man didn't provide a date of the encounter, it took place after 2009 in the summer. The man was out hunting squirrels when he saw a humanoid dog thing sitting at the edge of the woods. This creature was sitting like a person, and out of fear, the man shot at the creature. When one of the bullets made contact, the creature yelped, got up, and ran away with great speed. The man called the police, who arrived, found a few paw prints, and told the man it was a wolf, but the guy thinks much differently.
Well, wolves they're gigantic in
Yeah.
person.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, they're big.
Yeah. I mean, this guy said he was, like, sitting against a tree, like that, and when he shot at it, got up and started running.
I wonder if he used like a varmint rifle, which, I mean, it would do some damage, but it wouldn't kill it necessarily.
There's 3 sightings of this thing, and I think all 3 men wanted to remain anonymous, so...
Yeah. We should, when we come back to Texas, we should take like a late night drive through Sunnyvale, like middle of the night, and just take like a giant spotlight and see if we see anything.
Do you guys want to?
I do.
I have great memories in Sunnyvale.
You were talking about how you wanted to... you wanted to go back out there... Was it to also, like, listen to creepy things, or just...
Yeah, I mean, so Sunnyvale, for those of you not in Texas, when we go back there, it's like a wooded area, and it definitely does not feel like you're in Texas anymore. It feels like you're in the middle of the woods.
It's like an actual little town, but the neighborhood part of it, it's so wooded and like just
You're not that far from a city, but yet it feels like you're
a
so
two-laner,
far.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry, one going, one back, and it's super dark because there's really no street lights.
Yeah, it's a really rural area. It feels like mountain-esque, and it's just, when you want to get away or you want to get creeped out, go there.
Yeah, and the name's
late
ironic.
night rendezvous.
Yeah.
You go there too.
And sometimes they got these giant-ass mansions out there, too, and you don't
In
even
front
know.
of a building? In front of a public building?
Could have been, but no.
Oh, okay. I
Not
thought
the
it
library, right?
Yeah, I was thinking of the library.
No, that one was freaky because in front of the library, it's like an abandoned junkyard almost.
Yeah, because you're off the side, right?
Yeah, and it's like, let's move. Anyways.
Yeah, Sunnyvale. It's ironic in its name for how creepy it is.
I mean, isn't that always how it is with, like, creepy places?
They've got cute names.
Yeah.
Where they play cute songs.
Let's go to Rainbow Land. And it's like, junkyard.
Those
Yeah.
animatronics that come to life.
Oh, yeah.
Five Nights at
Five
Freddy's.
Nights at Freddy's.
You gotta watch that one movie in the cage.
Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah.
I've never watched Willy's Wonderland.
Sure, I'll watch it with you guys. It's really good.
I don't watch scary stuff.
You like Nick Cage?
We had to go see Quiet Place 2 and the new Conjuring's coming out.
Brooke knows Nick Cage.
I do.
She knows Nick.
They're on a first name basis.
I worked with him on a couple of sets, and that's all I'll say, because I had to sign an NDA recently. He got a little pissed off. Yeah, I was sharing some details, because, he got married a little bit ago, and
That's right, he did.
he gave me some pictures, and I might have sold them.
Brooke, what kind of
You
friend?
can't do that.
Well, Cillian Murphy is in Quiet Place too.
I heard he's also in the Ants movie.
And and actually, funny enough, the reason he's in Quiet Place 2 is because during quarantine, John Krasinski was binge watching Peaky Blinders.
Oh,
and he really
God.
liked Cillian Murphy's whole
Aesthetic?
Yeah, and so
He's like, want to be in my movie?
Yeah, him and Emily Blunt contacted him, and he was like, "Sure,
Well, that's cool.
why not?"
Easy little payday.
That's a good impression.
Ireland.
Josh was talking about this horror movie that is it in Ireland?
Yep.
Oh, it's in Ireland.
The Hollows.
And I told him about a great Irish movie that we saw earlier last week.
Josh, I could have been an actress in that movie. Okay, this movie that my mom, my sister, and I watched, we won't name the name because they're probably listening, but it looks like something my class could have probably...
Like a Lifetime movie?
Like the
I think Lifetime was
actors
better.
in it. I
some
was
way.
like, oh, this is so cringe.
Were all of you in agreement? Like, yeah, this movie's bad.
It got
Or-
better towards the middle and
It did.
end.
It
At the
did.
beginning, it was so cheesy, cliche, like the acting too, and it was like, ooh.
Have you ever been in a movie that you're just thinking... the
Have
whole
I
time,
been in a movie? Not yet.
You're watching a movie, like, you're sitting there and you're just like, God, this is a bad movie.
Yeah.
And then you get out and you, like, your friend is just like, oh my God, I loved it. That was so good. And you're just like, yeah.
I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have.
Yeah, that one wasn't bad. I mean, I did cry towards the end when it finally did kind of
Because
pick
they
up.
it got better, but...
The main guy, though, he was such a total... The persona
Hey,
of Babe.
Hey, babe.
He did. He had the voice, he had the attitude, and he's some sort of big-time shot in the movie, and they're in Ireland, and he's filming a movie with Catherine McNamara.
Captain McNamara.
It was a cute movie.
McNamara.
It's a PG movie, literally. So we're like, oh, okay, but
That's under the cover sex.
oh,
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not even back.
Not even a Sims woohoo?
Actually, probably not even bed. Just door closes and it's implied.
no, not even that. Not even that.
No, it was like
a kiss, and then that was it.
It wasn't even like Nagisa and what's his face holding hands and then they're pregnant. It's not even
The
that.
thing
Yeah.
about this movie was that it just makes you realize that, well, it made us realize we have not watched anything PG in a while. Like, everything we've seen is
When was the last
R-rated.
G movie you watched?
Probably when I was a kid. Not even then.
What's the last
I
season
can't even
movie
think.
you watched?
I can't even think
Here's
of the
your
last
answer.
G movie that came out.
Is it all PG now? Is like even Disney
I
movies are
think
PG?
they might have gotten rid of G. I think it's just
I
PG
don't-
is the lowest now.
Huh.
I don't remember ever watching a G movie.
Okay, but animations aside, though. Like,
Yeah.
real life people. It's like, oh god. Because even your Lifetime movies are intense. PG-14.
They're chaotic, yeah.
But, yeah. It was cute, though. In its own way.
It was, yeah. It's just one of those movies that you kind of make fun of, and then you're like, well, you know what, it wasn't that bad.
He made me feel good in the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes you want to look for good ones.
You have positive connotations about a movie just because of the kind of state of mind you're in, the people you're with, and what you've done that day.
Yeah, pretty much. So, anyways.
It's not to take away from Cillian Murphy and PG.
Oh, God.
Megan Fox's thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
This is like the movie episode.
Yeah.
Minnesota movies.
I mean, the last episode, I feel like I talked for like 5 minutes straight about 80s horror.
I know someone from Minnesota, too. Back in freshman year of high school, every year we would have like a youth group come to school. And this one girl was from Minnesota. And you know what? Now that I think back on it, she definitely had the Minnesota vibe.
What's the Minnesota vibe?
What? I don't know.
Does she have the accent?
No.
How do you guys feel? Did I ask this game? How do you guys feel about Minnesota?
Well,
first time
someone
here.
in your family married into someone from Minnesota.
Ooh.
They might have done the artwork for our podcast.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah, he's from Minnesota, y'all.
Minnesota.
And his mom is was the top person at Boeing for like a long time. She like bukuba.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
and she lives in Minnesota. We could have asked our art director if she heard any stories.
Thing is, I don't know when he moved down here though.
I
don't know if he.
I've met him like twice, so.
Yeah.
I really like him. Cool guy.
Yeah.
I like him.
I don't. He doesn't have an accent. Not
Would he be our cousin-in-law?
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah. Maybe our cousin-in-law. Oh, that's so cute.
Cousin-in-law.
I have a gift for him.
Oh.
Wow.
I have gifts for all of you guys.
Is it vampire fangs?
No.
It's
Get it?
Edward.
Anyway, okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Josh.
So moving on with our monsters. So this might be a continuation of the Minnesota Wolfman, was it? But who knows? I'm just gonna. So we're gonna head an hour and a half north on Highway 71. We'll get to find the small town of Fergus, where for the past 60 years people have been seeing an 8-foot-tall man with musty long hair covering his body, barefoot, and always followed by a musty smell.
That's Jason Momoa.
It's just personal hygiene at that point. But some people don't have access and they can't change that.
Yeah.
8 foot tall though? That's tall.
Around in the river.
Did you play in the NBA?
That's
true.
Reports of this being fell off through the 80s.
Josh, I'm sorry. I have to ask this.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about what your life would have been had you gone into football?
what?
We did
I've
talk about this the
never
other day.
Wait.
Or baseball? Baseball.
Have you actually thought about going
I've
into
never ever thought about going into football.
You could have been on a yacht right now.
You could have had us on a yacht.
Sniffing cocaine.
You could have had an apartment for each one of us, and like
I feel
Each
like,
one of your babes.
I feel like if I
Colorado
got really involved in football, I probably wouldn't have met Alex.
That's
This
true.
may be
I probably
true.
would have been with a different crowd.
I will
But
say, I'm sorry, it was cute because Josh did send me a message and he was like, I got a gift for each one of my girls. And I was like, that's cute, Josh. Thank you.
each one of my Colorado cutie babes.
Yeah.
But imagine you're on a yacht. You could have been doing cocaine.
Off a girl's breasts.
You know the saying.
God.
You know the saying for Skittles where they say "taste the rainbow."
Yeah.
You could have had a girl of every color, every color,
Okay,
every hair combination.
Okay,
And
well,
you could have
guess what?
tasted.
What are you doing?
What's the
What are you
crackling
doing?
sound?
What is going on?
I did get something for my girls.
Josh is pulling out some gifts right now.
Yeah.
From his cruise in Hawaii that we waited a week for.
Got you each an anklet, handmade,
That's so wonderful.
bracelet, anklet, whatever.
Ew.
Thank you. I was hoping this green was for me. Green gray.
And you know what?
Aw,
I'll take this one right off. Oh, you know
I will
what?
give you a hug after this.
You
Okay.
said we could wear it as bracelets too.
Yeah. The woman said, anklet or bracelet.
Oh, this is a tough decision.
That's nice.
Okay.
You know
It's
what?
not food.
Maybe I can pair it. You
Yeah,
know what,
but it's
Josh?
not food.
I'll
It's
add
not
it with my
food.
red bracelets that are always so meaningful.
She's gonna run into the fence.
It's okay, baby.
I think it'll look so cute.
Thank you so much, Josh. This
Yeah,
is
thank
wonderful.
you.
Of
I
course.
love the
You could
color.
have tasted the rainbow. Instead, you tasted us. But not like that.
No.
You know?
I love it, Josh.
Josh, you know at any point we can just call a group of women and just have a big old orgy fest.
Yeah.
But not
You-
together.
not together.
Yeah. But for you, by you, alone you, with
Okay,
them.
well, I'm off tomorrow, so.
Oh, okay, we'll get it set up. I'm sure we'll contact the Tiber Cabaret. They already got a promo in this.
Alright.
Episode.
They got something in Minnesota?
I'm busy, actually.
Not with that 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Damn.
Anyways.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Go ahead.
No,
Thank
you're
you.
good.
Just
All
looking
good.
at the little bracelets.
I know,
Yeah.
I love it.
I really like this color, Josh.
I
Thank you.
love it so
Oops.
much.
Of course.
So on with the Wolfman.
This is not the Wolfman anymore.
He's a wolf boy
This
and
is-
then became a wolf man.
This is the Hairy Man of Fergus.
That's right.
Oh.
Hairy Man of Fergus.
Reports of this being fell off through the 80s, with some people saying that it was just a hermit living in the woods. One man driving through the woods one night in 1966 said that the creature jumped out in the road in front of his car. When he stopped, the creature began pounding on his hood and denting it in several places before he was able to finally drive away. Other people have cited the man holding a club-like stick. Several animal deaths in the area were attributed to the hairy man, and at one time a human skull was found, and they couldn't identify who it belonged to.
That's unfortunate.
Some think this was an unfortunate victim of the creature. Many people think this creature is a Bigfoot for obvious reasons, with 73 Bigfoot reports throughout the state up to 2018, and the locals of Minnesota have embraced the legend, even making a special 5K race called I Outran the Hairy Man.
That's cool.
It's kind of cute.
But I was, like, after reading these back to back, I was like, maybe the Hairy Man could be the Wolfman of Fergus, and just people with different,
Like, perceptions.
you know.
Look, if a tiger can escape in, what was it, San Antonio or Houston the other week?
And they caught him.
And, well, thank God. But it could have traveled to
And-
Dallas in a couple of days. So,
Well,
you
yeah.
know, a wolf man.
Thank you, Allah.
Yeah,
Wow.
thank you, Allah.
Wait. Thank you, Allah.
Oh, yeah, that's good. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I'm just
I was
enjoying your gift right now.
No, I don't want to feel like I'm just rushing into each story. Like, all right, like, all right, let's stop talking. Let's
Wait,
move on to the next one.
Do you feel like we're rushing?
I can say
No,
something.
I just want to get silent. I'm like, should I move on? Or?
No, I can say something. I was actually going to say, so you know how we have plans for the Black Light Party?
Our 1 year in the making Black Light Party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what if we threw it before I go off?
Oh.
Okay, but everyone has to bring their COVID card, their vaccination.
That'll be
card.
the,
You
We'll
look so
have a-
serious when you said that,
no,
too.
we'll have a bouncer at the front door, like, COVID vaccine card, please. Instead of, like, asking for an ID.
Yeah, we could do that.
You know, because
Well,
we've
okay.
been planning it for a little bit, right?
It's like,
probably.
probably since we moved in, I think we've talked about it.
Like
Yeah.
when we had Josh's birthday party last
We
year,
definitely talked
everyone
about it.
made a sitting circle like they were sacrificing
I
your
walked in.
cousin-in-law.
I walked in and I
Yeah.
was like, "What's going on, guys? What's
your
what's
party.
this?"
It's a cult. It's a cult
Oh,
meeting.
cool. I'll just put down my board games.
Join the cult.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say. It'll come back to me.
But yeah, Black Light Party.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I got the BTS meal.
Did you like it?
I liked the Cajun sauce. I didn't like the sweet chili sauce.
I like the Cajun one better too. The sweet chili, the red one, right?
Yeah.
That one.
Yep.
Doesn't that one taste like, you know, at Chinese restaurants where they give you the chips?
Yeah, yeah,
Where you
yeah.
yeah. Have y'all had
Yeah.
it yet?
Mm-hmm. What we use for the crab wontons.
Yeah.
I was hoping the sweet chili would taste like that sweet chili for the crab wonton.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Oh my
not.
God.
Look at that. Melbourne's in.
Never goes away.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've had better sweet chili sauce
Yeah.
than that.
Yeah. And it kind of like, I mean, I really liked it, but it definitely got old as I was finishing my nuggets, I was like, man, this is really spicy. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I just mainly stuck with the Cajun one.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was nice to try out, but I think the Cajun one, even for me, I was like, meh.
But weren't the packages
Alright.
cute? It's a little clean.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, they were.
Yep.
That's
That's what I said. I said, look how cute these are.
No food for you, baby. No.
No, well, you make eye contact. She gonna come over.
Because you went.
Oh, that was me.
What?
Oh, sorry.
She's good. She's just a hungry girl.
Right. Look how cute. So cute.
You want that diet food?
Perfect. I'm glad you guys
Thank
liked
you,
it.
Josh. I really love them.
Glad.
Yeah, she is.
Got something for my girls.
I actually got that. I didn't get that off the main strip. I had to go down a back alley, and they had all these, like, stands. Just like, where like they cart them off at the end of the day. And it was just like a back alley, and it was just full, on either side, it was just full of these stands with the people just being, hey, check out my store. Look
That
at what I
actually
got.
sounds like a good time.
Like a bazaar.
Yeah.
Those are
It
usually
was
the
like a
best
bazaar,
places.
and they had like a donut place on the corner that was serving taro
You know
donuts.
what? Those are the
Ooh.
best places.
Taro.
Those are the best places to buy stuff.
Yep. So,
Back alleys.
so I found it because it looked handmade, and everywhere else I was just like, man, this stuff looks like it was just made off an assembly line and sent out to tourist shops.
No.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Alrighty.
Yeah.
It's just the episode of awkward pauses.
Pregnant pauses.
Pregnant pauses.
You know, my neuroscientist says that we should find more pauses. Anyways.
I think this is just a very sleepy episode. I had 4 hours of sleep last night. When I got here, you guys were waking up.
Well,
Yeah,
you're on
we're tired.
Hawaii time.
Yeah,
Because right now, what time is it right now?
the flight got in last night.
It's
11.
3:01, so 2, 1, 12.
5 hours.
It's 10
It'd be 10
a.m.
a.m. Yeah.
for
Yeah.
you right now.
Yep. So technically, I got up at 5 a.m. What I was used to.
Your body.
But it's fine. I got some coffee in the fridge.
Exactly.
Just a very sleepy podcast.
And the weather, too. It's
Listen to this episode when it's rainy and you're laying in bed going to sleep.
Wow.
That was thunder.
That
Yeah,
was.
look at that hail.
We're just underneath a big leaf.
Yeah.
In the woods.
I had to, find my little tent here because it was pouring. And I couldn't see what was in front of me, so it took me a while to get here, too.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so would you guys like to move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, so I'm going to travel 5 hours south, just past Minneapolis, to the border of Minnesota and Wisconsin, where we'll come to Lake Pepin.
I never realized Wisconsin was on the border.
So this is
Makes sense.
the Lake Pepin Sea
Welcome to the
Monster,
club.
Ooh, sea monster.
also known as Pepe. Pepe.
Pepe, that's my
Pepe the frog?
My personal. If you guys want to follow my personal Twitter, it's Pepe Catherine. Pepii Catherine.
So-
Pepe.
So we've talked about a couple sea monsters, and usually, after the first couple, it's all the same story, and I always say that. But this one does have something different. So this sea monster could actually get you rich.
Sea urchin.
This creature has been sighted since 1876. All of your typical sea monster descriptions: long, snake-like. But what's different about this sea monster is it's the only one we've covered that comes with a $50,000 reward. In 2008,
Okay.
Larry Nielsen offered the reward to anyone who could catch, take a clear photo, or bring back any kind of definitive proof of the creature's existence, and the reward is apparently still on the table. It was just a ploy to increase tourism to the area, but if Pepe is really down there, it's an easy $50,000.
Well then.
So yeah,
Very cool.
Mother load.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
So we've got time. We can go check it out.
If it's still on the table, guys, listen. If one of us gets it, we split it.
Yeah.
4 wins.
You know what every good sea serpent, sea monster
Serpent.
loves? When you just hold right above the water, you just lean over the water a little bit, and you hold a glizzy. And you just wait for them to gobble that
Don't know
glizzy.
what this glizzy is.
It's a hot dog.
Oh. But is that
That's what the kids
Yeah.
are calling it nowadays.
Yeah.
A glizzy?
Yeah.
What?
And
I
it's
think it was
better,
like- I
it's
think it
better
was
if
an-
you eat it in one bite.
I think it was a newspaper It was like a newspaper article that popularized it because it was talking about a hot dog eating competition, and it was just like so and so gulped down or like glizzy gulper, like whatever. It said something like that.
Wait,
Can't say I've ever heard
no
that.
one's calling them hot dogs anymore?
It's more appropriate to call it a hot dog, but I wouldn't want you to call it a glizzy.
Who calls it a glizzy?
Like
sounds gross.
12-year-olds?
Exactly.
Give me one
It sounds
glistening
gross.
glizzy, please.
Can I have
Yeah.
a glizzy? It's like, what
And then you just go
hell?
all the way down.
Yeah.
Imagine going to
Like,
the baseball park and you're like,
I want
it's
a
$1
glizzy.
hot dog night.
Can I get the boomstick glizzy?
It's $1 glizzy night.
Is that the one at the range at the Globe Life, the boomstick, which is like a 3-foot hot dog?
What?
Still haven't tried that.
It's supposed to feed a family of 4. It's like a 4 foot hot
That's
dog.
all I need for the rest of the night. Just by myself.
Yeah, it's like,
The whole
it's like
day.
$20 or
Yeah.
something.
I miss the ballpark. I was gonna say I miss those games because we talked about it. We have a schedule. We get there. First 2 innings, we're like, all right, let's get our food: hot dogs, sodas, whatever. And then is it by the
7th
4th, 5th inning? We're like, you guys want nachos, peanuts? 7th inning, without fail, we go get ice cream, but the ones that they serve in the
Baseball caps.
the baseball caps,
Yeah.
Bluebell up in the Lexus area. And then
Or
after
it was,
that,
yeah.
it wasn't up. Oh well, yeah, the old ballpark. And after that, we're done pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the game.
And then you people watch while watching the baseball game.
I love baseball games.
I know. I haven't been to one since everything shut
TCU's
down.
in some championship tournament now.
I've never been to a TCU baseball game.
We were talking
you
about that
guys-
yesterday. We want to go.
You guys are coming to
That's
every game because I'm gonna have friends in each sport.
I'm gonna play baseball.
Because I'm going to be in the new TCU baseball game.
Yeah.
Team.
I did hear the other day someone was talking about like what they, and I thought this wasn't a bad idea for some, like I guess times going to the game, where you buy like the cheapest tickets, like nosebleed seats, so it's like usually like $10-15, but what you end up doing instead is like kind of like bar hopping in the ballpark, and you go to like the different little restaurants or bars, or you just sit
Okay.
there.
Oh
watch
man,
it.
yeah, I want to do that.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
There's probably so many places. Well, I guess they've moved Globe Life Park since the last time I went.
Especially after my 21st.
Yeah, there's a lot more, I think, places now in the new
Yeah.
ballpark.
Yeah, but they don't want you to wear your mask. And then, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they tell you not to wear a mask, or can
They
you still
only
wear
have
one?
they only have 2 sections, 2 little sections out of the entire ballpark that it's required.
But you can still wear it outside that. They
Yeah.
don't. They're not like,
Yeah.
oh, take it off for security reasons.
No,
No,
but
you can
yeah.
take it off.
But no one chooses to wear it.
I think now, like I noticed that at Target, there's just signs that said it is recommended if
But
you're
not
not fully
required.
vaccinated. But it's,
Yeah.
They don't want someone in Texas to bring some beef.
I don't know. I don't really know when we've come to the point when it's like we should wear masks anymore.
They've already said that we shouldn't,
I know.
which doesn't make any sense.
but up
you know.
like us though, like
I mean,
Yeah.
we're vaccinated, so when should we? Because I feel like it's a common courtesy to others, so I still wear it. I'm not worried
that's
about
why
myself.
I wear mine.
I just wear it because I don't. I'd rather be respectful to others,
Yeah,
but
that's how I am too.
And yet, some people don't view it like that.
no.
I feel
Yeah.
comfortable wearing mine, so that's what makes me comfortable. I'm gonna do it.
I mean, it is a small price to pay to have the peace of mind knowing that I'm not gonna negatively affect someone else's life.
Right.
Yeah.
Here, here.
True that, homeschool.
But talking about negatively affecting someone's life,
Yeah.
If you don't
can-
catch this sea urchin and get $50,000.
now we're gonna our next creature is all about negatively impacting people's lives. So we're gonna head north, almost on the border with Canada, to the northernmost woods of Minnesota and the Great Lake region. In these woods, many say that a creature, or perhaps spirit, depending on the story, makes this location its home. This is a malevolent being set on killing and ruining people's lives, and is known as the Wendigo.
The
Oh, we know
Wait,
about this.
Wait,
Yeah.
is the game set in Minnesota? Oh,
I think it's
I don't know.
I
What
don't
it is.
know. I don't remember where it said in.
Until dawn.
Until Dawn.
But you
But
just
that's
said
the Wendigo.
They're in the woods. I don't remember where it said in though.
yeah. I know there's a bunch of like Native American, and I think it's Canada. Are you gonna look it up?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to continue, and you let me know when you find it. So this creature is described as having a very similar characteristics of a human, but it's bony and its skin clings tightly to its bones, even protruding in some areas. This creature starts as a spirit who possesses a human after the person shows some of their more inhuman qualities, whether that is greed, murder, cannibalism, or other social taboos. Or societal taboos.
Right,
rather.
so I think you're right. I think it's in Canada, but specifically the Blackwood Mountain.
Is that fake? Is it fictitious setting?
No, it's a large fictional mountain located on the Alberta side of the Canadian Rockies.
Oh,
Alberta.
Okay.
I want to go.
We're actually gonna get down to Alberta in this story.
Okay.
The name Windigo translates to the evil spirit that devours mankind. This creature is known well to the many different groups of Native Americans throughout Canada and the northern United States, who see it as a supernatural being associated with cold, winter, famine, and starvation. Various legends describe it in a similar manner. The Algonquin legend says that the monster is a giant with a heart of ice. Sometimes it is thought to be entirely made of ice. Its body is skeletal and deformed with missing lips and toes. The Ojibwa say it was a large creature as tall as a tree with a lipless mouth, jagged teeth. Its breath was a strange hiss, its footprints full of blood, and it ate any man, woman, or child who ventured into its territory. And those were the lucky ones.
Me when I'm hungry.
Ooh, great Tinder profile.
Me going into McDonald's? Sometimes the Wendigo chose to possess a person instead, and then the luckless individual became a Wendigo himself, hunting down those he had once loved and feasting upon their flesh. So the Ojibwa is a little more descriptive than the Algonquin legend, but
Algonquin.
the creatures are usually thought to be created when a human resorts to cannibalism, which is much more likely in a cold climate. Many a time have settlers or people found themselves in a situation where food has run out, and the relentless cold, the dead begin to look appetizing as a source of food and warmth. Consuming the dead in a gluttonous fashion will begin to change the person. Growing gaunt, their eyes begin to glow. They grow yellow fangs and horrible long claws. Their tongues extend to hang out of their mouth. Their hair falls out in several places and mat in others. They become almost perfect, quiet hunters. They are cursed to wander the land eating human flesh, but never being sustained by it. They will wander until they can no longer find living people, and only then will they starve to death.
So kinky.
Ooh.
Babe, you want to eat me?
Babe.
You want to eat this flesh, babe?
Do y'all know what you can eat when you are starving and you don't have anything else around? Dog food.
Oh,
Yeah. You can eat dog food. I would not recommend it.
I
Unless
always
you're
thought dog food kind
starving.
of smelled
Yeah,
kind of
but you know what?
Some.
I've heard the expression like, "Oh man, I'm so poor. I gotta eat dog food." Like, there's cans of tuna that's
Not
less
wet
expensive
dog food,
than dog
like
food.
dry
Yeah.
dog food.
Oh.
I've always found the dry dog food like smell
Tastes-
good.
tasty.
It's sprayed with additives to make it smell good to the dogs, so that's why the dogs want to eat it. But
That's
it's made out of the bits and pieces of liver and stomach and fat and not really good meat tissue in the food industry. All right, keep going.
Yum.
Yum.
What about baby food though?
Baby food's good for you.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get a little medical here.
I told you about this. Baby food's good.
Yeah, you asked me one day like, hey, have you tried baby food? And I was like,
And I was like,
is this a trick
I'm not a
question?
baby.
Like the puree stuff.
yeah.
It's basically a smoothie.
Do you know McDonald's is coming out with baby food, like McNuggets flavored, and
It'll be the
I wish.
cheese
My
Did I have you for a second, though?
Obesity doesn't even need that.
did I have you for like half a second?
Sure. No, but it would be nice.
Anyway, so we're gonna get to medical terms or medical field now. So there's a modern medical term called Wendigo psychosis, which is described by some psychiatrists to be a condition that makes a human have intense cravings for human flesh and a fear of cannibalism. What is interesting is this condition is much more common in the Great Lake area of Canada and the US, and usually starts in the winter months in individuals who are isolated by heavy snow for long periods of time. It's like a cabin fever type of thing.
Yeah.
Further delusions include the person believing that they are being transformed into a monster. They see people around them as edible, but at the same time have extreme fear of eating them.
Huh.
Most commonly, when a person begins to show signs of Wendigo psychosis, traditional native healers would attempt to cure them, and if their attempts failed and the possessed person, in quotes, begins to get worse and be a threat to those around them, they were executed.
Wow.
A document from the Jesuits in 1661 shows how long these reports have been going on. I got a whole quote from the Jesuits here.
Oh, nice.
What caused us greater concern was the intelligence that met us upon entering the lake, namely, that the men deputed by our conductor for the purpose of summoning the nations to the North Sea and assigning them a rendezvous where they were to await our coming, had met their death the previous winter in a very strange manner. Those poor men, according to the report given to us, were seized with an ailment unknown to us, but not very unusual among the people we were seeking. They are afflicted with neither lunacy, hypochondria, nor frenzy, but have a combination of all these species of the disease, which affects their imaginations and causes them more than a canine hunger. This makes them so ravenous for human flesh that they pounce upon women, children, and even upon men, like veritable werewolves, and devour them ferociously, without being able to appease or glut their appetite, ever seeking fresh prey, and the more greedily, the more they eat. This ailment attacked our deputies, and as death is the only sole remedy among those simple people for checking such acts of murder, they were slain in order to stay the course of their madness. It's from 1661.
Man, Jesuits?
That's an old quote.
Yeah. So
I've heard if you eat human flesh that it tastes like pork.
I heard this.
We're just porky, baby.
We're just fat. We're just chunky.
You knew I was fat before you met me.
We're just chunky little piggies.
Piggies. This little piggy went to Dutch Bros.
Oh my.
This little piggy went to Tiger Cabaret.
Oh.
So, yeah, I have the Wendigo from Until Dawn. So this
ugly.
This next story isn't in Minnesota, but it is probably the most well-known Wendigo story.
Oh.
So bear with me. Mm-hmm. We're going into Canada. We're going into Alberta.
just hopping over.
Kind of going way
Way
west. So the most famous case is that of the Plains Cree trapper named Swift Runner in Alberta. He was a trader and had a family with 6 children. During the winter of 1879, the entire family was starving during a harsh winter. His eldest son died from starvation, but even after this, Swift Runner didn't make his way to an emergency food supply 25 miles away. Instead, he killed his entire family and ate them throughout the winter.
Nice.
In the spring, when people saw Swift Runner and how well fed he was, people began to get suspicious.
Yeah.
The police searched his home, only to find a pile of neatly picked bones, all that remained of his family. All Swift Runner had to say for himself was that a Wendigo began to come to him in his dreams, and he couldn't take the hunger anymore. Wendigo accounts are not as common anymore, and more frequent in Canada, does not mean Minnesota does not have its fair share of these spirits. Whenever a Wendigo is spotted, a death will usually follow soon after.
Do y'all know the chant that the shamans use to get it to leave? They go, they go.
She's full of shit.
No,
Say
they go, they go, Windigo, a Wimbaway.
This
Get it?
might be
A
racist.
Wimbaway. Get it? A Windigo, a Wimbaway. Get it?
Let me ask my
This might be racist.
A
But I
Wimbaway, a
appreciate you.
Wimbaway, a Wimbaway, a Wimbaway.
By the way, this is Swift Runner. You can look up pictures of Swift Runner. Look,
I bet he was a really
ate
good
his
runner.
Is that really him?
He ate his whole family,
He looks pretty healthy.
and
This is his
here's the
Tinder profile.
actual police evidence of his family.
That's pretty
Is that
hard to
a
deny,
raccoon?
Swift Runner.
What is? Oh no.
Oh, those are all human. That's a pelvic bone.
I will say, I love the names that they give each other in Native American culture.
Yeah.
Well, he must have been a
Golden Eagle. And like riding bull.
One thing about Wendigos that I wish I could have found is they're always depicted as having like deer antlers,
Okay.
Yeah.
like this, like.
Oh yeah.
If you just search like
those
Wendigo
are-
in
yeah.
Google, you'll just find like Wendigos like having antlers or wearing like deer skulls.
Huh.
So
And I don't-
divine.
It doesn't say why.
Mm-mm.
Huh.
Actually, there's a
That would have been scarier in Until
know-
Dawn.
there's a Crypt TV. I think that's what it's called.
Those breathing.
It's a YouTube channel. They have a short
And you
horror
were destined
movies.
to fail because they wanted you to fail.
And they have a creature. I think it's called the Mordeo, and it's basically a Wendigo. It's just a monster that's created after I think cannibalism. But look, it looks like a freaking Wendigo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Meet the queen. Meet
You know-
the queen.
Those look familiar. I think I dreamt of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've dreamt
getting
it.
hungry?
No, there was I haven't had anything to eat today.
Oh, and it starts.
Just
Okay, well,
this.
we only got 2 more
It was
stories,
just this, but I'm not hungry.
and you go get a BTS meal
Oh,
now for a limited time at McDonald's.
not sponsored.
Not
Now
sponsored.
Yeah, so when you listen to bless you, when you listen to this episode, you'll know
Where we
vaguely
are
in time.
Not sponsored
Yeah.
by BTS.
What? Let me look at the news. What's an exact event that's gone on today? That
Who said there's a fire?
Well, there's a
Shooting in North
shooter
Park.
at North Park.
Yeah, but that could be a local thing. What about national news? Like,
yeah.
Guys, I got a missed call from Denver, Colorado.
That's why you put your phone on Do Not Disturb.
No, I do have it on Do Not Disturb. That's so cute. First, I see a
do you think it's
license plate.
the what was his name? You think it's that guy from
Busboy?
yeah, from what was the name of the restaurant?
Oh, Silver? No,
Blue on the
the
river. Blue on the.
Something on the river.
something on the blue. Sauce on the blue.
Sauce.
Because the
Oh,
river's
yeah.
called Blue something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he totally would find my number.
He might be from Denver. He could be, and he just goes up there for like I don't know.
work.
Yeah,
I come down here for work.
I'm only here for the springtime.
Well, that's like, then that's pretty cool. You see a license plate from Colorado, then you get a phone call from Colorado.
Yeah.
I get most suspicious when I get phone calls from where it'll literally say like Dubai. I've only gotten 2 or 3 of those phone calls with this number.
Ma'am, I am an Arabian prince.
I get suspicious when I get a text or call from an unknown number that's like, "Hey, could you please cover my shift?"
Oh no.
Or
Like, wrong
think-
number, sorry.
or your son has been born.
no. Or those messages like, last night was fun. And you're like,
Oh my.
It was fun. What was your favorite part about it?
When we played checkers.
Alright, so we're in the ghost stories now.
oh, yay.
If you guys are ready to move on.
I am
Yeah,
ready
sure.
for ghosties.
Okay. So moving out of the northern forest, we're going to head down to central Minnesota, around 250 miles south to Sauk Center, home to possibly the most haunted hotel in the state,
Oh, the
The
center of the
Palmer-
sock.
the Palmer House Hotel in Sauk Center. Originally, the Sauk Center House was called the Sauk Center House in the early 1900s, but it burned down and it was rebuilt to be the Palmer House Hotel. I couldn't find if there's any casualties in this fire. I just think it would make sense if there's so many ghosts in this hotel. Apparently, during the early 1900s, many families lived and died in this hotel like it was their own home. So they'd live for like years, decades, living, dying. So it is well lived, so I guess there might be a lot of residual stuff. While this is the most active hotel, I unfortunately don't have any unique stories. People have experienced flickering lights, televisions. Even with the rewiring and electrical tests that have been done, there have been sightings of a blonde-haired boy with green eyes on the second floor.
The little boy.
On other occasions, in the second floor hall, people have seen a ball bouncing from around the corner and the sounds of children playing and running around. The most active rooms in the hotel are rooms 11 and 17, in which people have experienced shadow figures waking them up by standing next to their bed or grabbing their exposed feet while they're sleeping.
Oh my god, that's the worst. That's
gross.
And here it is.
It's like an abandoned building.
I hate that. That's something that you would go into like downtown.
Or like one of those really ugly towns we'd pass by on the way to Colorado.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about, no we haven't, the little boy, when we were in Colorado, the little boy that Josh saw in our room, and we were on like the second, were we on
We're on the fourth floor.
Fourth floor. And
I saw a little boy looking in the window at me.
Outside.
And then walking away and reappearing in the doorway.
And then meanwhile, I'm like knocked out of sleep. And I was like, I can't imagine if Josh would have woken me up.
I was so tempted to do that. I was laying there and I was like, this is very unsettling. I'm not afraid, but I was like, wouldn't mind having company. But then all I could imagine was waking you up and like, jeez, Mo, I saw a little boy, and you'd just be like, what?
No,
little boy.
I just can't imagine you waking me up and being like, do you see that boy, Chismo? And I'd be like, Josh, I'm not playing.
What if I said, do you see that? I sat up and I said, do you see that boy? And you said, what boy? And I turned my head to you and I just had white eyes and I said, the boy behind you.
I'd be like, I'm going to bed, Josh. I think I would get mad.
Except my head turned all the way around, like 180.
No.
I don't know what I would do
moving.
if either one of you came to the room, because our room was right next to y'all's,
Yeah.
and we're like, "There's a boy in the house."
No.
And we're like, "That's it." No,
Like,
No,
if it's
ma'am.
like anything that happened in Marfa with Abby, I think I would get mad again. I'd be like, tell him to leave then. I'm trying to sleep.
pulls covers
Yeah.
over.
Yeah,
It was a great time.
it
The
was.
little boy.
It was a good
It
time.
probably was Abby in a different,
Abby was
form.
like, I'm just here to check up on y'all.
as a boy,
Man, I took some good sleeps.
unless Abby was the name of the boy.
No. Because the
Happy-
little boy.
Oh, they've been following us since.
The little boy was like, have you seen her? Right? Didn't?
He said it's Abby.
No.
He went, Abby! Have you seen Abby? Who's Abby?
No. And we're like outside.
And he just pointed.
And then
At the
the
house.
dad was like, oh, it must be some toy.
And it's pitch black outside, and I'm just thinking like,
I swear to God, if we were haunted by a little boy ghost from West Texas,
that was on Native American.
oh no,
be a cowboy.
the
Abby,
thing is-
Abby is an old English boy's name.
Oh, God.
There it is.
It means
no.
noble strength, father of light.
You know what? You know that, we saw it on Nuke's Top 5, that one story about the guy who would have dreams of this boy who had like a smashed head.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember.
yeah.
Do you
Oh my
remember?
God,
You remember?
the name Abby was a really popular boy's name in the late 1800s.
Yes, I'm about this life. Let's do it.
Can you imagine if we had to like leave that night? We couldn't do a fast escape on that gravel.
No,
It would have been like
we'd be driving 20 miles an hour and he'd just be walking next to the car.
No, but I remember, so we were watching the Nuke's Top 5 video, and they were talking about that guy who would dream of the little boy. And I remember later that night, this was when, like, Alex and Brooke spent the night at our house, whatever.
yeah.
Brooke slept on the floor, and she made me close my closet door, because she's like, can you close it, please?
Was
I'm
that
actually
Hello David
scared.
or
Yeah, dear David.
Dear David?
Dear David, that's the one. I
Dear
was like,
David.
okay.
I didn't like that. That one was freaky because of how
We
much
haven't-
detail was on
We
it.
haven't had a night where we just watch Nick's top 5.
We have like
in a while.
months upon months of it to
We
catch
have,
up
like,
I
on.
over
know, we got
30
so much. We used to keep up with it pretty regularly. Now you guys don't invite me
Maybe
over
we could do
anymore.
that for your birthday.
Now you guys don't invite
I like how you throw that out.
I just, woe is me.
We can do that as the intro to your birthday.
Oh yeah, on midnight.
Yeah, I told him, I was like, I'm not lying to you. We have nothing planned.
It's
He's
gonna be a
like, "That's
low key
fine."
birthday.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens on your birthday because I ordered one of your birthday gifts. Hopefully,
Here we go again. Here we go
It's gonna
again.
come in September on her birthday.
2 years later, that thing ever arrived? No. Still waiting.
There's a thing between my sister and Josh that's gone on for years.
I don't know what.
Where my sister will, like, she'll order gifts for Josh, but, like...
It comes way late.
Oh, no, that only happened once.
I know.
It was your AirPod case, and I remember buying it months before your birthday, but it was coming from like Hong Kong. And I remember sending a message to the owner, and I was like, hey.
Where the fuck is
Yeah,
it?
I was like, it's been over a month now. It's way past the expected delivery date. And he was actually nice. He gave me a full refund, and then out of the blue, your AirPod case came in, and I was like, oh, well, guess I'll give it to Josh now. But anyway,
Yeah,
It's just a running
like it. I
gag now.
still use it.
no. But yeah.
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 Is there a last story?
Oh, man.
Last story of the night.
That's fast.
Campfire's getting low.
Yeah, it is.
Still a little chilly.
Yeah, it's rained. I'm cold.
Time to go into our warm cots in the
Heated.
Minnesota woods.
The Minnesota
wanna-
Vikings.
We're by a lake. You want to come find us? Too bad there's over 11,000 lakes here.
Wow.
Could be any one of them.
Could be anyone.
All right. So we're heading at 90 miles northeast of Sauk Center. We'll come across a small memorial park called the Milford Mine Memorial Park. A peaceful park with walkways and a bridge around the lake. But for a couple dozen miners in 1924, this would be their graves. On February 5th, 1924, Clinton Harris was a skip tender. I had to look up what a skip tender was, and I think it's basically a person who covers other people's shifts in various jobs. So in the 20s, if you didn't want to go to work and you were sick, you called a skip tender and like, hey, go work my job and you can get the pay I would have gotten.
Oh.
And they just go, that's their job.
Even though they don't work there or something.
Yeah, they just like pick up various jobs.
Well, that's nice.
That's nice.
Yeah, so Clinton Harris was a skip
need
tender, and he covered for another man who was sick at the Milford Mine. The Milford Mine was a magnesium mine at the time. Harris was at his post stationed 175 feet underground when around 3:30 p.m. a rush of air down the shaft caused the surrounding lights to flicker. A few moments later, a second gust... Oh my god. Sorry, I'm getting the hiccups now. It's always when I start reading.
Late
You
reaction.
got microphones, right?
Yeah, I'm getting a little nervous on the 13th episode of our podcast. Okay. I'm good. A few moments later, a second gust knocked out the lights and power completely. In the darkness, Harris began to blow the warning whistle to alert the miners of coming danger. Aside from Harris, there were 47 other men in the mine. 7 of the miners ran past Harris on their way to the ladders out of the mine. With the power out, the elevator was not operational, and the only way out of the mine was a series of ladders. That's 175 feet of ladders to get out.
Wow.
The climbing men called for Harris to follow, but the man was worried that the miners further down didn't hear the whistle, and it was his duty that they got out. Harris tied the whistle rope around his waist and blew it continuously. I'm thinking this is like, it's like attached to a wall or something, or like a series of pipes or something, but he like ties this rope around his waist and just stands out there, and it's just blowing continuously, and he's just looking for the men to wave him down. He was hoping to save the other 40 men still down in the mines, but mud and sludge began to rush past Harris, and he stood his ground, and eventually the entire mine was filled with the thick mud. Underneath it all, Harris was somewhere still blowing the warning whistle, and it continued blowing until the men cut the whistle rope above the ground 4 hours later.
Wow.
2 months later, in April, the last of the water was finally pumped from the mine shaft, 1 bucket at a time, so that the bodies of the miners could be found. Harris's body was found on July 24th, the warning whistle rope still tied around his waist. The bodies were recovered, and the mine was reopened in November of that year. The day after opening, as the first 12 miners descended into the mine, they were overcome with the smell of rotting flesh, and as the elevator stopped at 175 feet below the surface, they saw the outline of a figure in the darkness. Some of the men who knew Harris were able to recognize him, except he had empty black eye sockets and the warning whistle rope still tied around his waist.
Wow.
The men panicked and tried to get the elevator to go up when all of a sudden the warning whistle blared to life, screaming down the empty mine shaft. The men got the elevator moving, and as soon as they got to the surface, they left the mine and never returned. Other miners who would later replace them told tales in the taverns after their shifts about the moans of the dead echoing through the mine, and as they went up the elevator at the end of the day, there would be Harris standing by the ladder below them, rope tied around his waist, always watching.
That is so
That's
sad.
crazy.
And here's the mine shaft that's all closed up now in the memorial park.
That's sad. But you know what that is? His soul was never put to rest at peace.
Yeah.
And then
Imagine being the guy who he's like, I don't want to work today.
yeah, and then all
Just
that.
covering someone's shift.
And then, but you know what? That's always a dangerous job.
Yep.
too.
You know how pissed I'd be if someone called in and they're like, "Oh, could you cover my shift?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I went into the restaurant and there's like a gas explosion and I
Oh my
died.
god, Josh! Not that
Like, oh, good.
As your ghost self.
I'll be like, I'm haunting this location the rest of my life. Are you kidding me?
No, that's so sad.
That was a good story.
Also, really courageous of the guy, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't his job, and he didn't have to save any of them or try to
No,
save
no one
them.
would have blamed him if he just ran out of there. But
Doesn't
he, I don't know what was going on with those other 40 miners though. They didn't even show up. But also, it took them. What was it? 5 months to find all the bodies.
Right.
Like God, like it's just water and mud. I don't know what happened. I guess it was like a cave-in, but since they're next to a lake, it was just water. Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Well, those were good stories, Josh.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
The
you.
last one got to me.
Oh, the Milford mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was most excited for the Wendigo in that one.
I know that one. Got excited.
Very good, very good.
Well, any words? Last words, y'all, before I wrap it up.
You gotta spin the wheel.
Oh yeah, spin it.
Spin the wheel.
Who wants to spin it this
I'll
time?
do it because I didn't spin.
Okay,
Unless I did spin.
where we going next?
North Dakota.
In there.
New York.
New York.
Yay!
All right, New York.
You know what? New York has a lot. I feel.
I'm sure. Especially
Start
in the city.
spreading the news.
Bum, bum,
I'm gonna play that song whenever we go to New
I'm
York.
leaving today.
bum, bum.
When you guys drive into the airport. I'm
Gonna be a part of it. New York, New York.
She'll have that on repeat for the whole
on the way to
flight.
the airport.
Yeah.
Well,
So then New York it is. Next stop. Are you gonna take a long detour again?
I'll see. I got 2 weeks.
Another cruise.
We're not that far away from New York.
no, we're not.
No, just to skip it or throw it away.
You know, I don't mind doing a little story.
I'm curious.
Or
I'm curious
to
to
New
see.
York.
I'm curious to see what I'm gonna find because New York is a big state.
It is.
Yeah. You got the 7 islands.
I do know.
Or 7 boroughs.
I do know one story. It's kind of famous.
What is it?
Amityville.
Never heard of it.
Amityville Horror House.
I've heard of it. Don't know the
So maybe we'll
specifics.
cover it. I thought it was like really well known. All right. Well, there's a little sneak peek to our New York episode. This might cover the Amityville Horror House
And I might.
and the movie starring Ryan Reynolds.
Is he really?
He's in it.
Naturally. Well, in that case, you got to get old Betty White in
You
there.
might
Oh,
hear my
yeah.
voice. Because I feel like. Can I do New York too?
You want to do a story?
Can I research?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anyone else?
No, I'm good.
We'll let you know. I'll let you
Okay,
know.
but when we go to Alaska, I have a story. I've been saying this. I am ready for Alaska.
New York's gonna be our 13th stop.
I thought this
6.
was.
Spoke both me
I
and
want to get
Cheese
some
about
pizza
different
while
stories.
we're there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, New York style pizza. Oh, it's been so long.
You know what? I'm going to thrive in New York.
Can we actually just stay in the city this time? Do we have to like stay out in the woods?
Let's go see a Broadway show.
Can we go stay at the
Yeah, we can
Ritz?
Yeah.
we can go stay in the city.
Go
We're
to the Rockefeller.
expensive people. Let's go to the
Let's
Ritz.
stay at the Ritz.
Which New York has a beautiful countryside.
It
I always
does.
want to go to Buffalo.
I miss a good hotel.
I love the
Good.
Hamptons.
All right. Sounds
Okay,
good.
guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Hope you guys
Yeah.
are well, staying healthy.
I hope you get vaxxed and waxed.
Join us,
Summer's
join us in 2 weeks in New York.
Yeah, and we'll see you in New York. On that note, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at taleslesstraveled. Twitter is tlestraveled, and you can send us a lovely little email at taleslesstraveled@gmail.com. Just say hey. We were waiting for an email.
Well, we did get an email.
Well, yeah, but that was
Oh yeah.
the prince from Dubai or something.
It was a.
Oh no, the woman from Dubai.
Is it Dubai or Abu Dhabi or?
Well, no, it was Abu Dhabi.
She was a widow, right?
She was
She
single.
was single. She
was
let that
single.
known that she was single. So I might have a shot.
I just imagine our inbox. With
Do you guys want to call
lots.
dibs? We deleted it already. That's
Oh, we should have
unfortunate.
kept it.
I know, but I think it automatically deleted because it was spam.
Oh.
I mean,
a shame.
spam. It wasn't spam. She probably really has a fortune that we just need to, lend her some money. And
Exactly, and she's listened to
She
us
just
before.
wanted our bank account information so she could wire the money over.
Exactly. She
Yeah, we
believes in
get-
what we're doing.
Yeah. She believes in the tales less traveled.
Well, love you guys. Start spreading the news, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.